So last convention, I managed to find this particular racing wheel. And I thought this is going to be interesting because we have seen the original Xbox 360 wheel, but never one from Madcatz. And that is some really old school stuff. Madcatz, that brings back some memories because that was a brand that made a lot of kind of peripherals, including stuff for the PlayStation 1, so that is a very long time ago. Officially designed for the Xbox 360. And yep, even having the old school model on the box. They sold it back in the day for €79. And this thing, feel the game with vibration. So I really wonder what are we getting today in the box. So when it comes to this particular product, the box is in very bad shape. Hey, it still came with a box. That's kind of cool. But let's unbox it and let's see what we're getting in the inside and how is the overall quality. So in here we're having the old school racing wheel. I don't know if I already cleaned it up, but doesn't matter. So underneath we're finding the pedals. And the first thing that whoa, holy, this thing is heavy. Seriously, what the heck is going on? But it is interesting that when it comes to the original one, I can still remember that it had a power supply. Okay, so next up, let's take a close look. We're having over here the logo of the Microsoft, but the configuration is interesting because we have the LSB and the RSB buttons out front over here and all the other ones. So we have in here the push X and pull for RB. So that is cool. So we do have like double function on these, let's say, shifters over here. Can we actually call them shifters? Not really, I think. So in here we do have an old school racing shifter for having a little bit of a more arcade fun. So this thing has like a very nice feel to it. And oh boy, yep, they're missing the cable. That is one of the biggest freaking annoying things it is out there, but we do found, or actually bought one from AliExpress for a couple of bucks. So that's not going to be a big of a deal. But let's take a close look at the pedal system, because that is interesting. The first thing that we're going to be doing is getting rid of these freaking spaghetti of cables. Man, oh man, oh man. Oh, what a freaking nightmare this always is. But Madcatz outdone themselves with this particular model. I mean, look at the construction. The way how this thing actually works. You can just get this thing like in a certain position when you're going to be pushing it. The construction is so cool. But also when you're going to be looking into, let's say, the other pedal, yeah, the resistance of the spring is different. And also mentioned like the weight of this thing. So that's kind of cool. So you can put your feet on here and can actually use just one. If you want to use both feet, of course, at the same time. But the thing is, the construction and the design, they did absolutely a great job with this. And connecting is going to be with this plastic fantastic connection. But how about how you're going to be playing with this? So first of all, you're going to be connecting at the side over here the cable. If it comes to the, let's say, the connection of the pedals. Over here we do have the option for the original headset over there. But if you're going to be looking at the bottom, this is interesting. You can see the shape that this thing is actually made to put on your lap. And they even implemented something like an extra cool thing over there and here. So if you want to have like the perfect grip, you can actually do that and put this thing on your lap. But the old school suction knobs are here and a big one on top. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Just putting it on the table because it's going to be so much easier to actually film. So, whoa, this thing was in the way over here. The racing wheel itself has been placed, connected. If you're going to be looking at the rotation, it's going to be a little bit better than your normal typical wheel. But that's going to be the feedback itself. And in the middle, what is also cool, that we do have the D-pad for navigating through the game itself. But let's hook it up. Let's go. So let's see how this thing actually works when it comes for navigation. Can we use this? Yeah, we can actually use that when you don't want to. But let's do a little bit of a gameplay. Let's see showroom. Oh man, is that one of those games that you need to choose your career and you need to get into the mumbo jumbo. So what I hate about these new generation games, that the explanation and tutorials. I'm like, I'm that guy that don't read the manual, but I just want to play. I will figure it out myself. Well, okay, so let's get into the game. Let's see how accurate this wheel is. Oh! No, it is not accurate at all. I don't feel any feedback. Crazy dead zone. Or this game is just as it is. But navigation itself goes quite well. I do need a little bit of, let's say, getting used to it, because the resistance of the D-pad is quite massive. However, well, let's get into the game and let's see how the Colin McRae game actually work. Or is this Colin McRae? Do I have a brain fart? Ah, I have a brain fart, absolutely. Dirt 3 is actually the name I was searching for, Colin McRae. I'm so old school when it comes to that. But let's move into the game and let's see how much fun it is. Oh yeah, let's race. Oh man, I skipped like a zillion different options. So let's see how this actually works. Okay, so the pedals are so interesting and so weird at the same time. Still, the Xbox 360 is looking great. Ooh, I can feel the vibration. Ooh, yeah. Oh, so this works quite well. It's really accurate. The rumble is working perfectly. I mean, particularly when it comes to, let's say, the engine roaring sound at the beginning. Of course, but so interesting to see how the compatibility with every single game is different. So this is what I mean. This game is so much different. We do have a dead zone. You can see that this part doesn't do anything. So does it make it really unplayable? Nope, not really. It's still a lot of fun. Some more old school Burnout 2. I'm really curious how the next one is going to be with the Need for Speed Rivals. Fun fact, this is actually the first time I'm ever going to be playing this. I was back in the day not like the biggest fan of, let's say, the Need for Speed games. But, you know, the later on model, I think the one I actually played the most were like the Underground 1 and 2. They were like my favorite ones. After that, I don't really bother checking them out, you know. For me, it felt more of the same. But also when it comes to the precision of this particular wheel and this game, you have the same situation like with the Burnout game. So it's getting a little bit of a dead zone, making it quite difficult to actually play this game. And that's interesting, if you're going through a couple of games, you just need to hit like a certain game that is just perfectly for this wheel. I'm kind of flabbergasted like how beautiful this game still looks on the old school Xbox 360. Oh yeah, Pac-Man with the D-pad. There we go. Woohoo! Yeah. It's absolutely horrible. It's like almost unfreaking playable. I was not the biggest fan of, let's say, some of the games like Burnout or Blur or Need for Speed, you know. So let's move into something else. Let's check out this Ridge Racer 6 game. This is like pure arcade racing. Let's see how accurate the wheel is, and is it going to be the same unplayable situation, or is this going to be any fun? So let's check that out. So the same story with Need for Speed and actually Ridge Racer. I've played Ridge Racer so much. I think the first 3 games on PlayStation 1 and played that crazy other one on the PlayStation 2, I think was Ridge Racer 5, but never got into Ridge Racer somehow with the newer generation of games. Man, we got the same dead zone going on over here, so it makes it really difficult to play. Okay, so let's see what's going on. We do have rumble function. So for the final test, let's get into something of an simulation, whatever, and see how this is going to be actually working out. Of course, we're going to be choosing some crazy supercar. Alright, so this works great. Whoa! Rumble is absolutely aggressive. Oh, I choose a completely wrong car, but doesn't matter. So, okay, this works perfectly. So if you're going to be playing some Forza, one of my favorite games, this is Forza 2 actually. Yeah, this is really enjoyable. Somehow this steering wheel is perfectly working with this. So, also the rumble motor is so much more aggressive. You do have so much more effect. So let's choose a different car. Let's go with the 4GT. Okay, so the pedals are absolutely like plug and play. Oh! The rumble motor also acts when you're going to be turning out of the corners. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. But I wanted to try. So let's see what's going on over here. Let's play a little bit acceleration. Yeah, the pedal seems to be working fine. But also the shifter, so that's kind of cool. What the freaking car, man! It's like uncontrollable if you're going to be accelerating after the corners. I really need to get used to this bloody freaking car. There we go. With the Xbox 360 having a great library of games, this Madcatz racing wheel is actually worth picking up. But it is not like the best wheel if you want to play all of your favorite games, because in the end you will find games that will not work with this device. And that is quite unfortunate. Okay, Burnout, Need for Speed don't work, but Forza does, or at least the one I've tested out. I think it's really great, just revisiting, and also when it comes to the pedals, man, these are kinda interesting. They play so much different than your typical Logitech, let's say, pedal, but this is kinda cool. So thank you all for watching, consider subscribing, hit that little bell, and it would be great to see you in the next video.